So the one called Judas Iscariot went to the chief priest and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver Jesus over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over. On the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Where do you want us to make preparations for you to eat the Passover?" He replied, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, 'The teacher says, my appointed time is near. I am going to celebrate the Passover with my disciples at your house.' So the disciples did as Jesus had directed them and prepared the Passover. There were Peter and Andrew, brothers from the town of Capernaum. They were fishermen. Andrew was a disciple of John the Baptist before he began following Jesus. He introduced his brother Peter to Jesus. Peter was outspoken, and Jesus called him the rock upon which Jesus would build his church. James and John were brothers who became fishers of men. They were called the sons of thunder for their rowdy behavior. James and John, along with Peter, were considered to be the inner circle of closest disciples to Jesus. Philip and Nathanael. Philip was a fisherman from Bethsaida. He was the first man to whom Jesus said, "Follow me." It was Philip who told Nathanael about Jesus of Nazareth. Nathanael responded, "Nothing good could come out of Nazareth." It was Nathanael whom Jesus described as a man with no guile, an honest and devoted Jew. Matthew was a tax collector. He was called by Jesus to be a disciple, which infuriated the Jewish leaders. He was despised by everyone, especially after Jesus entered into his home for a meal with the publicans. James the younger and Thaddeus were brothers from Galilee. They were close friends of Simon the Zealot. It is historically recorded that they were a part of the fanatical Jewish nationalist group who hated Roman rule. Thomas, also called Didymus, is best known for his expression of doubt concerning Jesus. He was a pessimist who questioned everything, and by doing so, became a devoted believer in Jesus. Judas Iscariot was the treasurer for the disciples and was known to be greedy. He was also reputed to be a member of the revolutionary zealots who looked for ways to overthrow the Romans. When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12. they were eating, he said, "Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." They were very sad and began to say to him one after the other, "Surely you don't mean me, Lord." Jesus replied, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to the man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, "Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi." And Jesus answered, "You have said so." While they were eating, Jesus took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." The disciples prepared to leave. And go out to the Mount of Olives.
garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing. And He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I stay in the garden with Him, though the night around me be falling, that He bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
And so begins the darkest 3 days in the history of the world. Amen.